Hello, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Simply Saturday, where I get to show you a card that is fast and easy to make. My name is Julie, and this is Stamp with Julie Baum. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this super fast and easy card, and we are going to let the embossing folder do all of the hard work. So let's get started. I'm using the Sweet Citrus bundle along with the Sweet Citrus hybrid embossing folder. Now you can do some amazing things with these products, and I have shown a couple both in class and by video, but today we're going to do something really easy without the die cuts, and we're going to make the embossing folder do all of the hard work. So let's get started. I am beginning with a piece of Lemon Lolly cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it down the center and fold it at 4.25. I did not score this ahead of time, so let's go ahead and do that together. So I'm placing the top of the cardstock on the long side into my trimmer, putting the edge on the left at 4.25, and now using the light gray blade, not the dark gray, I'm going to score it, and this creates my line in which to fold and make a nice crisp crease. And I will reinforce that crease with my bone folder, which is here on my desk somewhere. Here it is. All right, besides your cardstock base that we've just created, you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white cardstock. These pieces are both cut at 4 inches by 5.25. One will be for the front panel and the other will be for the inside. Then I have another piece of Lemon Lolly cardstock, and this is cut slightly smaller than those white pieces. So this is 3.75 inches by 5 inches. All right, let's begin. This white panel is going to go on the front of the card, so we can go ahead and do that. And liquid glue or your Stampin' Seal is a fine choice to do this step. And I'm just going to line it up. I do like the liquid glue. That way I'm able to kind of line it up and slide it a little bit into place if I need to. All right. That front panel is now in place. Then we're going to take our smaller Lemon Lolly piece, and this is the piece that's going to get put into the hybrid embossing folder. Now we're not going to get into what this can be used for as far as the hybrid part, which means for the dry embossing design as well as die cutting. That's going to come in another video because that is not fast and easy. So I'm going to place this inside the embossing folder and close it. This gets run through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, this is a 3D folder, which means it's super thick. And so do remember that when you put this through your machine, you're going to alter your plates from what you would typically have them set up to do die cutting. So you're only going to need the 1 plate underneath, then this part with the cardstock inside, and a 4 plate on top. You're going to run that through, and when you pull the cardstock out, you have this deliciously embossed design on your cardstock. So gorgeous. All right, now we're going to put this piece onto the cardstock, and you can decide which direction. There's really no right or wrong according to the design of the lemons itself. So you can turn it and decide which way that you want it to go, keeping in mind that we're going to put a little element here. And so it just depends on what you want mostly showing, okay? I kind of want some of those lemons to show even, and then the slices will show too. So we're going to put it down this way. All right, to attach this to your white piece, I do recommend that you grab your tear tape or your Stampin' Seal. Here's the reason. This is a really thick texture, and if you just go lightly dribbling your green glue like we do often, it may not stick very well. So in this instance, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. When you use your Stampin' Seal, you want to be sure to use it very lightly. If you are struggling with it, you're probably pressing too hard. So I'm going to go around the 4 sides first, the 4 edges. Okay, and as I'm gently, very, very gently, dragging this across my cardstock, it's leaving that sticky tape along the edges. Now I'm also going to go into some of these flat spaces that don't have any pressed in design, and I'm just going to add a few little dabs of the Stampin' Seal in those areas as well. I really want this to adhere well to the card and not be popping up. All right, like so, and now we can put it in place. Very easy. This one I'm going to line up and eyeball before I drop it down, because once I place it, I won't have any chance of moving it around. All right, and press very, very well on your 4 edges and some of those flat spots. Remember where we added a little extra seal. Okay, that's great. We can set that aside. Let's do our stamping. I have a scrap of white cardstock, and I'm going to be using Pebbled Path as my ink color. Now you could also do this in your Memento Black, but I feel like with this soft yellow, the black would have been, for my taste, just too stark. So Pebbled Path is sort of a grayish color, and I do feel like it goes well with the yellow. So I'm going to pop my Stampin' Pierce mat under my scrap. Now I'm going to stamp the words right here on my scrap. Then I'm going to cut them out with a die. This is from the Tailor-Made Tags set of dies. And I'm using this shape. What I want to do is put this, this edge with the little decoration and also the tag hole right there. I'm going to put it close to my words, leaving a space over here. All right, and then this is going to get run through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. After you've run it through, you have a piece that looks like this. Okay, so I left a little space on here on purpose because I'm going to take my Lemon Lolly ink. Now I'm using the stamp from Sweet Citrus. We already used the words. And now I'm using this stamp here, but I only need that portion. So you can see I've kind of got it clumsily set on my block, but I only need this portion to work for me. So none of this is going to get used. It's just fine. So I'm going to take just that little wedge part of the lemon stamp and ink it up with Lemon Lolly. And then let's bring this back in. Let's put one little lemon wedge right on the corner of the tag. Perfect. Okay, we're going to attach our tag. Let's also bring in some white twine. Mine is just out of reach, so hold on while I stretch and grab my twine. Okay, I've got 2 pieces here. We're going to finish our card with 1 piece, but I am going to show you something extra on the second piece. All right, so I've got my twine, and I'm going to go ahead and double it up and send it through the little hole in the tag that we've made. And now I'm going to tie a bow. I haven't left myself very much of this. This is going to be too short. So for example purposes, I'm going to leave it single ply instead of double, but you'll see on the finished card I did double. So I needed, let's tell you how many inches. I have 8 inches here. I probably needed more like 14 inches in order to double it and tie a bow. All right, so you're going to put that through. And I'm going to tie my bow. Who knows, maybe one will even look good enough. Concentration here. Okay, once I get the basic shape of my bow, now I can tighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to make my loops smaller. and then tighten up the knot a little bit. Like so. Okay, so we've got our bow in place, and I will trim those tails. They're rather long. Like so. Let's grab some dimensionals and pop those on the back. Now it is a pretty long tag, and I don't want it to sag at all, so I'm going to use 5, one on each of the corners and also one in the middle. All right, press those down so they're stuck, and peel the backings off. Now we're going to put this into place. And as I said, this embossing folder already did all of the hard work. That is just beautiful, soft and subtle, but really delicious. And then our little tag is going to go right here. And if you want, we could add a couple of rhinestones. So on this card, I'm going to put the rhinestones scattered a bit. And I still want it very soft, so I'm even sticking with the smallest of the rhinestones. I don't want anything too loud on this card. All right, so I'm just going to do one on the yellow, one on the tag, and my third in the sloppy triangle. Maybe down here. All right, and there we have a very beautiful, fast and easy card with that lovely lemon theme. Now let me show you the other one that I made. Oh, we need to put our inside panel. Let's do that. Let's grab that and attach it to the inside. Then I will show you the other one I made with just a couple of things changed up. That would be optional. This is going to be the fastest and easiest, but I will show you just 2 more things that you might want to add if you have the time. All right, there's our inside panel and our completed card. Okay, so here is another example. It looks almost identical with a couple of differences. On this one, I did stamp some flowers on the inside. And so those flowers are part of that same stamp set. And I simply used my Lemon Lolly ink pad, which was already out, and added a couple flowers. So that's an option if you want to take a couple seconds to do that. And then the other thing I'll bring out, or bring to your attention, is the twine bow that I used on this one. I did double it, but I used one yellow piece of twine and one white piece. Now, we don't sell any twine in Lemon Lolly, but I want to show you how you can change your white twine to be really any color that you want to. So let me show you how to do that if you have another couple moments to finish watching this video. And then you can also note that on this one, I put all 3 rhinestones only on the tag, if you like that better, or scattered across the card. All right, so let me show you how to change the color of your white twine, and it doesn't take long. In this case, I'm going to use my Lemon Lolly to make yellow twine. I have my piece of white twine here. Now you're going to need something to hold onto it, and you don't really want it to get all over your fingers. So I'm going to use a sponge dauber. And all I'm going to do is lay the twine down right onto my colored ink pad, and I'm going to hold it down with the sponge dauber and just kind of drag it along, pressing down with the sponge dauber as I go. Now, you're going to get pretty good coverage on just one pass, but you probably want to run it through again and turn it over a little bit just to get maybe the other side that didn't get as much color. And it certainly does not have to be perfect. It's going to look yellow even if there's a little bit of white spots on there. It doesn't matter. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the rest of the length. So you can imagine if you need flirty flamingo twine or lemon lime twist or starry sky, it just doesn't matter. If you want a solid color twine to add to your projects, This is one way to do it. There's other ways to do it too. You can also use your Stampin' Blends, which I have done before, but this seemed to be very quick, very easy, and you probably already have your ink pad out if you're making this project. Now you do want to give that twine just a couple of minutes to dry, since you're going to be touching it with your fingers and you don't want to get ink on your fingers and then accidentally onto your project. So do let that dry a little bit before you use it on your project. And I'll bring that finished card back in that has the yellow and the white, and you can see just how cute that is. All right, friends, that is my card to share with you for today. As typical, I will put lots of information below this video in the description box, including a current host code. And also, this is still July of 2023, and this month there is that wonderful promotion. If you spend $50 or more as your subtotal, you will automatically earn a $5 discount coupon from Stampin' Up! To use on your order in August. So if you're hovering right around that $50 mark, go ahead and throw in a package of rhinestones or some extra twine or maybe some multi-purpose glue to bump you up to that $50 level. That way it will earn you a coupon directly from Stampin' Up! Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, happy stamping!